Hello, my name is Alvin Brown. I'm a tax attorney. I'm the principal of the law firm Alvin Brown and Associates. We specialize in IRS issues and problems, and our client base is national, international. We currently have clients that live and work abroad in 8 or 9 countries. From time to time, there's other countries, but certainly we represent taxpayers throughout the U.S. on any proactive, any interactive IRS issue or problem. The subject today is back taxes. I get calls from people all over saying to me they haven't filed. Some haven't filed for 2-3 years, some haven't filed for 5 or 10 years. I've had 15 years, I've had 25 years. I've had some people tell me they never filed. Well, it's seriously dangerous not to file, because if the IRS determines that you willfully didn't file, then you can go to jail for that. You can go to jail for up to 5 years. So this is quite serious. Everybody should file, and I can deal with the resulting tax debt, but the first priority is your safety, and certainly the safety of yourself and your family, and of course your health is vitally important. Nobody wants to go to jail. If you file voluntarily, the IRS will never bring a criminal charge against you. That's because willful filing is not willful evasion. So everybody should. And there's an additional reason for filing your tax returns, and that is that if you don't file, there's a 25% penalty for not filing. In addition to that, there's an understatement, they call it a negligence penalty of an additional 20%, and the interest is accumulated, it's compounded daily, and the interest is a killer. So if you don't have the money to pay your taxes, file the returns. You don't have to pay the tax liability. We can deal with the tax liability in a number of ways, an offering compromise or an installment agreement or something else, but certainly you must file your tax returns and to stay out of trouble. Also, you don't want the IRS to initiate the filing, and if they have done it already and they haven't brought criminal charges against you or have not referred it to the criminal investigation division, then you're just darn lucky. But in any event, I encourage everyone to file. Now, if you go to the IRS webpage, www.irs.gov, you can do a search engine for a local context, and this is the page that comes up, the local contacts in every state. If you go to your state link, let's say California or Texas, like in California, there's Bakersfield, Chino, El Centro, El Monte, Los Angeles, Modesto, Oakland. It tells you where the walk-in offices are for every state. What I like my clients to do is when they file the returns, walk it into the nearest IRS local office, because then you can get a receipt for your tax returns, and that way you can prove those returns are filed. In addition, you can also ask them for a transcript of your account, and when you ask them for a transcript of your account, you'll find the data that has been reported to the IRS either on W-2 forms or 1099s. So I think it's important to go to the local office for that person, even if you've got to travel 20, 30, or 50 miles, because the IRS loses data, and they're slow to get data into their database. But I have lots and lots of cases where the IRS says, hey, you sent it to us, we didn't get it, and you don't want to hear that. In addition, because you're late filers, you certainly want to prove that those returns are filed. And if I'm going to settle your tax debt in an offer in compromise, the only threshold for an offer in compromise for processing is, did you file? Now, the question is, should you file for every year, that you've never filed? Well, generally speaking, the IRS, it depends on their policy. I'm telling you to file, all the years, but I think if you go to 6 years at a minimum, you should file those 6 years, because the criminal investigation people don't go beyond 6 years, and currently anyhow the IRS database doesn't go beyond 6 years. That's what they tell me, but in any event, you can't rely on what you hear from the IRS. So I think you should, do as many years as you can. The other question is, what if I lost the data? Well, you can pull data from the transcript, and you always want to file a tax return in good faith. Tax returns an affidavit is signed under penalties of perjury. Always file a good faith tax return with all available data. The thing that a lot of people don't know is that you can estimate some of your data. For example, if you knew that 1 year you were earning $40,000, well, and then you lost the records for the next year, well, at least you were earning. You can reasonably estimate that your income for the following year or the year before equally was around that number. But try to just do a good faith estimate. If you are estimating a number, note that in the return. Disclose it in the return. Nobody ever should lie on a tax return. A tax return is an affidavit, and always tell the truth when you file a return. So if you're estimating a number, then what I want you to do is to note in the return a signed statement that line 3 has an estimated number of whatever it is. So that's very important. And then the IRS will accept that as a good tax return. And after that, when you get your tax assessment, I can screen you for an offer in compromise or an installment agreement, and that's the way most of the cases are resolved. So even though somebody hasn't been paying taxes for a lot of years, they file voluntarily. We have a tax debt, we get it reduced. And yes, Congress in its wisdom decided that they're going to write a statute, which they did, 7122, that says you can settle your tax debt. So we can thank Congress for that action, and we do a lot of that work, and we're very successful with our offer and compromise filings. Thank you very much. If you have any questions about tax returns, how to file them, where to file them, you may be living abroad. We have a lot of clients presently living abroad right now, let's say in Iraq and India, England, Canada, the Philippines. Send us an email. My email address is ab@irstaxattorney.com, and my phone number is, I'll give you the toll-free number. It's 888-712-7690, extension 111. Thank you very much.